It's getting ready now. It's happening. Bing, 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 bing. Molly, it's great to see you.
Great to see you as well, Anthea. How are you?
I'm very good. I'm surprisingly good. Like, I feel guilty that I'm so good. I'm feeling very lovely. And even though it's a pandemic, I'm feeling quite nice. How are you feeling in general?
Well, I think maybe some of my colleagues and I can say we feel a little bit more free now that most everyone that I know, at least at the Blair School of Music, have our vaccines, and so do our students. And the semester is wrapping up, so
Yeah,
those are all steps in a new direction,
exactly.
which is
Exactly.
welcoming. Yeah.
I was just talking to Jason earlier today. I was trying to remember when I first met you, and I think it was, remember when we were all so young and we were like trying to make our way in the world? And I think Eighth Blackbird and my young quartet, when we were all about the same age, the Avalon Quartet, we were doing the same circuit. Everyone kind of did more or less the same circuit. There were a couple competitions in California. There was like New York, try to get the management with the competition. Some other things like Yellow Springs or Fish Off or things like that. And I believe I met you first in California at one of those competitions. And I remember a big controversy because you had gone, your whole sextet had gone all the way there, which is a huge commitment for anyone as a student, like financially taking the time. And in your case, with a sextet with a large percussion, um, I don't even know how you got there. You probably drove there or something. And I remember you guys played fantastically as always. And then, do you remember this? And then there was some kind of decision like, oh, guess what? You're not chamber music. And so we can't even give you a prize after you had been accepted to the competition. Is that correct?
It's all ringing a bell. Yes, that actually, I think that happened twice to us. That um, judges said things like, "We can't evaluate you because you're not playing traditional music." I found that confounding because we were still playing in a chamber music setting. We were still blending and playing, hopefully in tune and in time together. And
Yes, yes.
regardless of whether it's Mozart or Schoenberg, which it was at that point,
Yeah.
Schoenberg isn't all that far out
No.
compared to some of the things I've played since then.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that that would be a less common reaction in 2021 than it
Yes.
was in, what was that, the mid 90s or
Yes,
late
that's
90s.
right. Now, did that actually what I would love to talk to you about today, Molly, I was trying to think about this. Was I want to talk to you about the concept of fearlessness because when I think of a fearless person, you're one of the people that pops to mind immediately. And do you consider yourself fearless?
Um, Ask my husband. I don't know. I mean, I think I express my fears to my family, but I think that I recognize very fully that instincts take hold very strongly in me. And even if those instincts on the outside or from another person's perspective might seem a little bit bizarre, I feel like I can envision a path.
Mhm.
And so maybe that's perceived as fearless, but I think it is methodical in a way
Mhm.
as well.
Okay. Okay, methodical. That's interesting. Okay, so do you feel like fear or whatever the word would be, fearlessness, which okay, I guess I mean bold, from the outside looking like taking risks, pushing yourself, not only with yourself like on your instrument, but with your career choices, quitting an incredibly famous and successful group to move to Oregon with no clear path for your career past that, having a child, traveling everywhere. You're fearless with your body, with the outside world, with running or exploring, things like this. So I don't know if you would call it fearlessness, but what do you think is the balance between whatever that is and methodical? How do you balance? Do you think that they meet or are they one and the same? Or are they
Uh,
different?
I think they meet. I'm a very type A personality, so I think through things at least a bit. But I don't think I think through things to the point that they become. I mean, maybe there is a balance. If you think through things too much, then you find, okay, well maybe my security in a certain job or a certain repertoire is, you're doing well, so why rock the boat?
Mhm.
Um, and I think that my answer to that is, well, why not rock the boat? I'm 45 now, and hopefully have another 45 years in me. And why stop now?
Yeah.
So I do think that there's a lot of value in continuing. I just saw the graduation speech at Vanderbilt University. It was all online. Fauci spoke, and he said something that really resonated. He said that when you're leaving college, moving on to your next endeavors, you will you likely will never find a sense of security. You'll always have this edge in your body. And maybe he was speaking to himself. I think he was. And maybe he wasn't speaking to everyone at Vanderbilt, but he was addressing this issue that we're always students and we're always learning. And um, you just, if you stop that process, you lose something in your in your brain and in your life.
Mhm.
So I that really resonated with me when he said that.
That's
Uh,
really that's really great. Do you feel that playing or learning how to play an instrument teaches boldness or strength of character and ability to grab something, grab life, or grab your opinions, confidence? Can you teach that? Can you, or do you think a person is fearless? I keep on saying fearless because I can't think of another word. And they that comes through music, or can you bring that out? And can that come out through music and then pop out into the rest of your life?
I think different musicians exude different aspects of their personalities. So, I mean, some of my students are. I mean, I think I'm introverted, but some of my students are more introspective, maybe than I am, and that comes out in their playing. Some of my students are more extroverted, and that comes out in their playing. So I think that if fearless is the adjective used to describe all musicians, then um, it wouldn't be quite as interesting of a place.
Yes,
But I,
yes.
yeah, I think we bring our individual personalities into our music, whatever that may be.
And do you think that that can, as the person strengthens their own core um, personality, do you think that that helps them with life and helps them with their choices?
Yeah, I do definitely.
I think so too. Can I ask you what it felt like to quit? What is your opinion on quitting things? Like, how did it feel to quit Eighth Blackbird? How did it feel to quit Oregon? What is your opinion on quitting?
um, I left Eighth Blackbird because my instincts very strongly told me that I had the best job in the world, but I wasn't appreciative of it anymore.
Hmm.
And I needed to give that job up and give someone else the opportunity of fulfilling the inner joy of playing an Eighth Blackbird, because I love the ensemble. The members are amazing musicians. We traveled for a decade together. We accomplished great things, and they still are accomplishing really great things. And I love that. I love that I was part of the inception of that group. But I just saw new things. So when you say the word quit, it um, makes me say, well, I don't know that I would call it quitting. It's just passing on an opportunity,
Hmm.
uh, and just kind of we all we move in the world from one opportunity to another, and as one opportunity opens up for somebody, and another one opens up for someone else. So
I see that. That's nice. So it's like almost like just passing, a passing rather than
yeah,
nice.
yeah.
That's great. Well, Molly, that is fantastic. Thank you so much for meeting me today and chatting. And I'm so excited to have you at Inside Music Academy this summer. I hope it's going to be a great summer. And in any case, it's just lovely to see you. And of course, my mother-in-law, Norma, is just your a number one fan. And she says hello. And it's great to see you looking so happy and healthy, as always, as you always do. That's just
It's
great.
great to see you as well, and I do hope to be working with a whole bunch of eager students this summer, and kudos to you for all that you do.
Thank you so much, Molly.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, bye bye.
Yeah.